And hello, all my fellow nerds. This is Orlam here, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered Steam release. So last time we were just finishing up Arc 2, and we're gonna be moving on into Arc 3 for this episode. I'm so excited because I'm pretty sure this is the arc where Iggy gets undesirably angry for one reason or another. So so anyways, there must be something stuck in one of the wheels because each rotation the bin lurches upwards, smacks heavily against the pavement. Not this again. I groan and shove my pillow over my head and I wait for the sound of something to drop. I pause. But why would I? I hear her stop, pick up whatever it was, then toss it back inside the bin. Roll, roll, smack. I lie there a moment, brows furrowed against my closed eyes, but ultimately shake it off. I push myself up in bed, roll the sleep out of my eyes, look around. My room. Yes, this is my room. The same as it is every morning. So why does it feel so empty? Pull, pull my knees up to my chest and just sit there, taking everything in. A strange feeling of loneliness is tugging at my chest, as though I've lost something important. Something did I don't know if I'll ever be able to get back. I shiver, sigh, chew on the inside of my cheek, reach over my glasses on the bedside table and lob them across my nose. I wander towards the kitchen and start the coffee pot despite the dull heaviness weighing down on my heart. Maybe I really did drink too much yesterday. It's making my head all weird. Once the coffee is percolating, I empty the last of my chocolate rice snappers into a bowl and take to it like soup. I pause a moment mid slurp to look around again. Why does this feel so strange? Why does down into slowly marbling milk make twinges of tears form form along my lashes? I see that Carrot is using that word twinge a lot. Is there a reason for that? Hmm. I shake my head. I don't have time for this. I finish up the snappers and head for the bathroom. I look awful. Then again, when don't I? I lazily lob my toothbrush into my mouth, washing away the chocolate and rinsing out my mouth. Once I finish, I splash three good sized handfuls of water onto my face, hoping to wash away the cloying feeling of sadness while I'm at it. Before pulling away, I take another look at my eyes. I half expecting to find them lined with bruises, but of course they're not. Why would they? Why would they be? The thought makes me shiver, and I spend an extra moment just rubbing at the skin beneath my eyes. I'll fix you, Iggy. I turn around, but of course there's no one there. Why would anyone be there? I'm starting to lose it. The coffee is ready, and time I step back out. But even as I grab it, I start to head for my desk. I find myself just not wanting to work. I have to work. I have deadlines, projects due. I stare at my monitor until my vision starts to blur, then walk back into the kitchen. I'll work eventually. Maybe I'll just take a little time first, clear my head. I sit down at the table, hands perfectly curled around my mug, and wait. One sip, two. I stare at the wall. Stare at the grease modeled in front of the microwave. Stare at my fridge and the takeout menus held askew with developer joke ascribed magnets. Three sips. What am I waiting for? I don't know, but I'm definitely waiting for something. My mind drifts to Genzo for some reason. I wonder what he's doing right now. Is he at his shop? Something is somebody really wants to see him right now. But thinking about it sets off a mini alarm bell in the back of my head. So I give myself a shake, snap myself out of it, and go back to my staring. I don't know why, but I feel so demotivated. Doing anything seems like a chore. I just feel empty. At that moment, my phone goes off. Fuck, shit. The sudden noise about to give me a heart attack, and my total surprise, I splash hot coffee up and onto my hand. God fucking. I managed to answer anyways, nursing my smarting skin as I balance the phone between my shoulder and ear. Hey, Hooner. What's up? I ask without even confirming the name on the caller ID. But someone comes to the receiver isn't matching a jovial tone. Sobs, Harry sniffles a cough. Hooner, he's crying. Iggy? Oh, oh shit. Right. This is. I run my hand to my forehead, massaging the deepening creases. It's. It's Bucks, isn't it? My insides start to twist. This triggers another cough from Hooner. How did you. But then he must decide it doesn't matter because he continues all the same. I don't know what to do, Iggy. She's gone. Gone! I hear a voice cracking the receiver. She took Sadie. There's no sign of them anywhere. I've called. I've called. I shake my head, trying to collect my thoughts. I'm having trouble figuring out what to say. I mean, did she, say anything? I mean, last night. Hunter's voice shakes. Nothing. We had a bit of an argument, but by the time we went to sleep, things were mostly fine. And I didn't wake up once. Sadie, she never cried. He pauses, and I can hear him swallow. I have a really bad feeling, Iggy. Something's not right. Something happened. I run a hand through my hair. You feel that way because you're nervous and scared, but I'm sure things are fine. But even if I'm not convinced by my own words, I feel sick. Maybe something came up. Maybe her parents called or something, and there was some kind of emergency. I heard Hooner sniff through the phone. It's been hours now. I don't know what to do. I rub my face, my eyes trying to stay focused on Hooner. What do I say? What can I say? I'm sorry, Hooner. I really don't know what else to do. I'll I'll keep calling her though. If we all keep trying, I'm sure one of us will finally get through. I'm sure, I cringe. But continue. Everything's fine. The line is quiet for a moment, then soft whisper. Okay. He sounds so despondent. I don't blame him. Keep me updated, okay? Sure. The line goes dead. I bring my hand down with a sigh, staring down at the brightly lit display of my phone. I could have handled that better, but somehow I can't help but feel like it wouldn't have mattered. As the as the quiet returns, so does the feeling of emptiness. It gnaws at my insides like a rat trying to escape. All of a sudden, I just really need to hear someone's voice. Not only that, I I can try again. Try again? Try what again? I start scrolling through my contacts. Yeah, maybe I can call someone, but who? It's not like I have a lot of choices. My thumb passes over Genzo's name. No. I shake my head. No. Continue scrolling. Someone else. Someone I haven't tried yet. Call Orlam. Oh shit. Did my game freeze? Oh, okay. My game froze for a second. It's fine. I scrolled down Orlam's name in the list. Normally, I'd be hard pressed to call Orlam about, well, anything, but somehow it feels different this time. I can't explain it. Almost like something needs to calm me down. Needs me to call him. So, with only a moment of hesitation, I jam my thumb against the screen and watch the cheerful phone icon starts to bounce. I bring the phone to my ear. Think about what I'm going to say. What am I going to say? I'm going to ask about Bucks, of course. What else would I ask about? You could maybe show some interest in him for once. I grimace. True. I call I call him for the first time in like forever, only to jump straight into concern over someone else. That would certainly paint me as a sympathetic light. I get so lost in my own back and forth preparation I don't even realize no one's picking up until the line switches over to voicemail. I blink. Pull the phone away. Weird, guess he's not around. And a digital voice on the line tells me to leave a message after the beep, and in a semi-panic I blurt out, "Hey Orlam, call me back, okay?" I hit the end call button, then wince. Did I really just leave a message and went like that to boot? I didn't even say, I didn't even say why I was calling. Well, whatever. At least he should call me back now. I run a hand through my hair with a sigh and trudge back over to my desk. Guess I could try to work. Head's a bit all over the place, but that's something my clients are gonna care. That's not something my clients are gonna care about. Might as well try to focus as much as I can. I felt down on my desk and set my headphones in my ears. Let's see what I can get done. Once I find my groove, time quickly passes. 1 hour, 2 hours. I yawn and sit back with a stretch, gazing proudly upon the custom API I'd just gotten done debugging for Mr. James Addleston. I feel like that's somebody we're supposed to know, but I don't know, it sounds familiar but also doesn't. As only as my thoughts return to reality, I realize Orlam still hasn't called me back. I check my phone in case I somehow missed it, but nope, no calls. I chew on the bottom of my lip, brows furrowing. Not caring that it may look a bit weird, I find his name in my recent calls and try him again. Still no answer. I don't leave a message this time. But, but the message my stomach sends me is plenty. All gurgling butterflies and hissy soda bubbles. This really doesn't seem like him. What if something happened? What if he never even made it back from the party last night? I open my eyes. That's ridiculous. But still, where did he live again? I type open my group chats. Vaguely remember him giving us his new address when he moved. Was that last year or the year before? 2.5 years? Dang. I opened the address in my phone map and checked out the route. A bit far to walk, but it's all the way over on the other side of downtown. I could take a bus though. Get off on the Kant Street stop. Am I really doing this? But apparently I am, because I'm already wandering off to change into a decent pair of pants and find my shoes. Time to have a little adventure. Arc 3. I am so excited for this. There's no response to my first knock, which makes me feel all the more ridiculous. At my second, though, I hear shuffling on the other side of the door. Propped up against the lock, I see a single green eye blinking at me curiously. It shuts, then opens again, this time with the lock undone. Orlam stares at me through, as though he's never seen me before in his life. He's an absolute mess, hair jutting out in greasy clumps, cheeks a sickly gray, and eyes sunken atop boulder-sized bags. He's wearing the same shirt as yesterday, with nothing but boxers and socks beneath. Iggy? He blinks. I raise a hand with what I hope is a friendly wave. Hey, then when I have no idea what else to say, I called earlier? He squints, tilts his head, then seems to snap to attention, frantically searching his pockets. When he doesn't find what he's looking for, he throws a glance back at the apartment before returning his gaze sheepishly. I seem to have misplaced my phone. His eye twitches. Need something? Well, is everything okay? I guess I got worried when you didn't pick up. Another twitch. You were worried about me? He blinks. Yeah, I mean, sure, I shrug, cock a brow. You don't look so hot. He laughs, though it's more skittish than his usual laugh, almost nervous. I'm fine, just a bit under the weather. Drank too much yesterday? I asked with a grin. He smiles, except that's not quite a smile, more like disguising a grimace. Sure. I suddenly realize how awkward it is just standing in the doorway. I mean, can I come inside, if it's not too much trouble? His eyes dilate, and he stands up a bit straighter. You want to come in? Another set of blinks. He throws a hesitant glance back to his apartment, and finally steps back. Sure, go right ahead. He tries to curled errant lullaby in his ear, it falls back out. I step inside. I'm immediately met with a sordid smell. It's not awful, but it's kind of there. Damp and bitter and curling up inside my nostrils as I look around. The apartment is much of a mess as Orlam himself. Clothes piled onto the floor, sheets and blankets half falling off the bed, and clutter everywhere. Empty fast food wrappers, unopened mayo, weird little trinkets, bottles, cans, glasses. Even the curtains look ready to give up the ghost. To give up the ghost, half falling off the rod and leaving the crescent moon of sunlight on the opposite wall. I don't say anything, but surely it's all over my face. Orlam just stands there, wringing his hands. And there's a sweep of his hand through his hair. He goes towards the bed and pushes back the tousled mess of blankets and sheets. You can, sit here. He passes a newly cleared space. I do as I'm told, mostly because I'm not sure what else to do. If I felt awkward in the door, that was nothing like I was feeling like I am now. Orlam scratches his head. You want anything? I must look at him blankly. Coffee, or something, or water. I think maybe I have some Coke, too. Oh, coffee's fine. I mean, if it's no trouble. It's fine. It's great. I'll just, put a new pot on. He scratches his arm, almost like a dog scratching at fleas, then skitters off towards the kitchen. I stare at the entryway. He disappears for a few moments before redirecting my attention back to the room. It's a lot smaller than my apartment's. At least I have a separated room for my bed. Though, his might not seem as small without the junk everywhere. There's a desk in the opposite corner with a dusty old laptop and empty bottles of whiskey. Piled up next to the desk are what look like 10 to 12 empty delivery boxes. I let my gaze follow the wall back and around until I meet the bulletin board hanging over the bed. In between the fast food menus are scattered postcards, strange papers, and cutouts I can't for the life of me understand the value of, and the occasional photo. One in particular catches my attention. Oh, look at them! They're so cute! It's us. The 6 of us. The group picture we took after prom. Hooter and Bugs had been only 2 to go to actual prom. The rest of us had just crashed the party afterwards. Our high school always held an all-night event of games and food and gym after prom. I guess to keep the students from going off to party and drink on their own. We look pretty smart. Even me for once. With my little sport coat. Gives this guy's arms around Orlam and I's shoulders, thumbs jutting out the sides like some kind of 90s frat boy. Like, hey! He's kind of like the Fonz, honestly. She's just got her hands on her hips, looking mildly irritated at something. Bugs is dying of laughter at something practically falling over Hooner's shoulder. Oh, look at Hooner and Bugs. They're so cute. Damn, does that feel like a lifetime ago? It was a strange night, though. I remember Gendo being super clingy for the first few hours. He snuck some alcohol and kept making all these off-color remarks as he'd gotten progressively more wasted. Then he just disappeared. Orlam too, and I'd been left to hang out with Gidget the rest of the night. She kept leaving unsettled hints about how much she wished she could have gone to prom, and oh look at Dana's dress. Wouldn't it have been magical to wear something like that? And then later that night, a hacking cough comes in the other room, jolts me from nostalgic reverie. I throw a worried glance in the direction of the kitchen. It continues for a good 10-15 seconds, one of those wet, flutty convulsions that racks your whole body. And it only ends when something thuds hard against the countertop. Those people are right, wait for him to come back out. Not really sure here. I'd probably wait for him to come back out. I'm pretty sure I waited for him to come back out before, right? Despite my worry, the sound of that cough, I can't help but feel that I should give him some space. I don't know. I'm really bad at the social interaction thing. What's acceptable behavior when at a friend's place? What if going in there would just embarrass him or something? I shift to the left, to the right, my toes curling in on themselves as I simply watch the entryway in the kitchen. I don't hear anything else. In fact, it goes quiet. It almost does finally rouse me from my bed. Finally, however, Orlam returns, carrying a mug of coffee between his hands. He's almost painstakingly careful in in the way he walks, making sure it doesn't spill out and onto the floor. I can't help but find this funny given the current state of the apartment. Here, he hands it over just as mindfully, making sure I can get my fingers around the handle. I hope it's okay. Thanks. The mug is orange and sports a Garfield face on one side. I bring it towards my chest and peer down at the steaming liquid. Owen takes a seat beside me. He sits close. Too close. And his bony knee touches mine, and I can hear him breathing not far from my ear. He pushes his bags back again and again. Are you gonna drink it? I'm just waiting for it to cool down. Oh. More hand wringing. Sorry it's a bit of a mess in here. I don't, have company often. It's fine. It's my fault anyway, coming over unannounced. I can see his stocking feet curl against each other atop the carpet. It makes the muscles of his gangly legs lurch beneath the skin. You were worried about me? He repeats the same question from earlier. I pause in the middle of blowing on my coffee. Yeah, I tried calling but you didn't answer. I even left a message. He brings his hands to his knees, gaze pointed downward. Pretty wild party yesterday, huh? Not sure I'd call it wild, but it was fun, yeah. Nice to get out a bit. Yeah. The side of Orlam's mouth twitches. Pause. Then, surprised you're not with Gidget. Huh? Why's that? Figured you'd go and console her. Girls are the most vulnerable when they're upset, you know. His eyes widen. I roll my eyes. All the more reason for me not to go then. Take a sip of coffee. Me and vulnerable don't mix. You're kind of weird, you know that, Iggy? Oh, I'm weird? I, of course, hit the bars afterwards. You know me, party animal. Once I start, I just can't stop. Wouldn't have expected any less. I must have had like 10 girls hitting on me. Absolutely voracious, these ones. Sexiest girls you've ever seen. Oh yeah? Two of them even wanted to have a threesome with me, but I had to refuse. Bed's just not big enough, you know. But I'm thinking of getting a remodel, something that screams me. A real love shack kind of thing. I thought you were seeing someone at work. Sounds pretty sweet. Sounds pretty sweet. Doesn't it though? It'd be like the talk of the town. I could bring people home every night. I mean, not that I don't already. My place is basically Grand Central Station. When this bed's a rockin', don't come a knockin'. You should see me. You'd honestly be so jealous. I'm basically a god of the night scene. He's getting really excited now. His words coming out faster and faster, almost as though he can't stop them. Guys, gals, everybody wants some of this. You know what I mean? Oh, guys too? His eye twitches. He frowns, looks away, then smiles. I mean, who am I to say no, huh? You know how it is. I stare at him a moment longer, not saying anything. Then finally taking another sip of my coffee. He leans in close, eyes glowing wide as he watches me drink it. I pause, slowly turn over towards him, one eyebrow raised. He sits back, clasps his hands. Do you want something to eat? I could order something. I'm fine, really. I look at him for a moment. Really look at him. From the greasy points in his scraggly bangs to the greenish tinge of his cheeks to the way his knobby knee keeps knocking against mine. Orlam, I finally say, are you seriously okay? He blinks, laughs. What are you talking about? Except in that instant, his body lurches forward, his hand goes to his mouth. The sudden movement makes me jerk backwards, spilling about half my coffee into my shirt. Excuse me, he manages before abruptly sliding off the bed and racing to the bathroom. What the fuck? I don't even mind the coffee. I set the mug down on the floor and take off after him. Then reach the door just in time to see him throw up the contents of his stomach into the toilet bowl. Ugh. Oh, good thing we're not seeing it. Like, jeez. It sounds awful. Each heave a horrific gag that sounds like it's ripping its throat open. His shoulders shudder from the force of it. Fuck. After a minute or so, the convulsions begin to die down, and his body slumps down onto the toilet seat, hanging half into the bowl. I don't know what to say. I don't say anything. Instead, I kneel down next to him, one hand on his back. I can feel the knobs of his spine through his rumpled shirt as I rub up and down. And when he sits back, vomit, saliva, and snot drip down his face and chin, his whole body shivering. The color of the bowl is wartying, a horrible greenish brown. Hey, come on, I finally say, pulling him over towards the wall. I sink into my seat, and he slumps against my shoulder. Aww, poor dude. It's quiet. Quiet except for the occasional sniff and the occasional hiccup. There's a towel half wadded of hanging from the rack. There's a short ways overhead, so I grab it and use it to wipe his mouth and chin. You're fine now. For some reason, this makes him smile, chuckle. I see him bite down on his lip. Hard. I did it to myself, you know. It's barely more than a whisper. I don't say anything at first. Then, what do you mean? Another chuckle. This one has a good chunk down his chin. Yeah. Kinda makes me want to barf now. It's satisfying somehow, watching all that come pouring out of me, like I'm washing myself clean. I'm frozen now, one hand on his back, the other still clutching the towel. It's the only way to make all the bad thoughts go away. Fuck. Close my close my eyes, open them again. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Fuck, Orlam, you can't. It's worse every time I see him. He cuts me off. His mouth fades, twists downwards. I can see his lips trembling. Every time, I hope it'll be different, but it's always the same. All those feelings come rushing back. He brings his hands to his head, fingers digging into his scalp as though trying to scoop something out. I would just die. My grip on his shoulder tightens. You don't mean that. What's he talking about? Genzo? Genzo had certainly given him a lot of shit over the years, but had it been that bad? Guilt tugs at my conscience. I hadn't been the angel of innocence either, never telling Genzo to stop. I'd sometimes even gone along with him just for the laughs. And then when Orlam's mom had died, when she offed herself, I winced. I still remember the day he'd come back to school after that. Genzo had gone over to him, face pictured of worry, arms outstretched. And Orlam, for the first time, I'd seen this little glimmer of happiness in Orlam's eyes, even through the bleak and the tears. And then Genzo grabbed the back of his shirt collar, jerked it upwards like a noose around his neck, imitating the music from Psycho, and saying, offing yourself was genetic. Fuck. Maybe things had been worse than I remember. Yeah, you fucking think, Iggy? I look down at Orlam's hunched form and feel this sort of weird heat building up in the base of my belly. Anger. Anger at myself. Anger at Genzo. Anger at life in general. I'm not normally an angry person. Probably the exact opposite, actually. A little too easygoing, a little too blasé about things. But that thought that just fuels my anger because maybe if I hadn't been like that, maybe if I had actually done something or said something, things might not have ended up like this. I need my onto Orlam's shoulder with a sigh. He gives a little hiccup, his back jumping. No one's a cough. Never done anything like this for me before. He glances back at me, and for a second I see the old Orlam, the high school Orlam from the photo, who might have still been been a jumpy, mousy, whiny little thing, but at least he'd smile at you. There'd been some genuine joy and happiness behind it. I returned to smile and pulled him against my side with a squeeze. Hey, what are friends for? I get back to my apartment a little bit before dinner time, but even back in the safe familiarity of my home, I can't stop thinking about Orlam. I told him to call me if he needed anything, even if just to talk, but I have no idea if he's actually going to take me up on that. I feel like I should do something, telling telling someone, but who? And would it even help? I don't know. I just don't know. I sit back at my desk, rub my eyes, belly a tumbling froth of guilt, uncertainty, and anger. The anger's still there, just simmering soup just beneath my consciousness. I stare at my computer monitor, not comprehending the text on the screen. I need to work. I'm so behind at this point, and yet, somehow I just don't care. It seems so pointless. What will doing any of this accomplish? A new API for James Adelson? James Adelson can go fuck himself. Jesus. I push back from my desk and stand up. Maybe I'll play a game. I wander over to my shelves. I have a few that I started already, one that I got tired of grinding in, so I'm stalled out right before the final boss. A few dozen I bought but just haven't gotten around to playing yet. But they all seem like so much work. I'm not in the mood to try jumping back into a story that I've half forgotten. Nor am I in the mood to start something new. I let my fingers fall from the shelf. Maybe I'll watch TV? I grabbed myself a bowl of peanut butter ice cream from the fridge. I plopped down on the couch and jammed my thumb on the remote. There's gotta be something good on. I can't take it anymore. I never thought I would stray from Natasha, but I can't control myself when I think about you. I must have you. Oh, Clark, I need you. Jesus Christ. Nope. Wait, nope. Just change the channel. We're not gonna go into that. No, thank you. I feel like Kid Icarus. No, thank you. She's still one for you, and Sheila's is for daily use. Sheila's for daily use, ready for any time the moment is right. Nope. Last week on Big Male Sibling. No thanks. I let the spoon bob up and down between my lips. Let's switch over to Netflix. Okay, finally we're getting somewhere with this visual novel. I like all the funny references that they do for this. Netflix and start the Shawshank Redemption for probably my 100th time. I descend further and further on the couch and thought the course of the movie. Throughout the course of the movie. Until by the time the credits were rolling, I'm slumped over with one leg propped on my back and on the back and one hand hanging over the side, barely keeping any grip on the empty ice cream bowl. Damn, it's not even that late. How am I so tired? I can't help but feel like there was something I was supposed to do. Something important I should have been thinking about. But even that feeling is quickly drifting away. My eyes droop. Somehow, my half-lidded gaze goes toward my messenger bag slumped against the far wall. Wait, why is that? I swear I see it move. But I'm too tired. Too tired to care. Right now, all I want to do is sleep. Ugh. Just let me sleep. I end up dreaming. I'm in the woods, someone's calling me. I chat to the voice in the darkness every time I think I'm getting close, it comes from a different direction. Iggy. I run faster and branches weapon at my face. The roots underfoot threaten to send me tumbling to the dirt. I'm here, Iggy. I run and I run and I run. Run until the forest seems to open up in front of me. Something like it travels upwards. Up, 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 higher and higher. Something's there. Something large. Something huge. My breath catches and I take a stumbling step back. Defeat it. Defeat it? How the hell am I supposed to defeat this thing? It's the size of a house. I hear it snort. See it rear back. Something's coming at me. I better turn to leap out of the way. I've hit the ground with a bone-crunching thud that takes my breath away. Makes makes my vision swirl. There's no way. What am I supposed to? I feel something on my hand. When I glance down, I see a doll, a tiny doll, just sitting there limp in my palm. Its button eyes staring up at me. This, this is. In a moment, it sits up. First, his limbs jerk to life. Then his back rises, head rolling forward. It looks straight into my eyes. Please kill me, Iggy. I gasp and sit up. Only now I'm back on the couch and the sun's reflecting out the window straight to my eyes. I groan. Fuck. My body feels like it's stuffed with a trash compactor, and my ears are killing me from sleeping my glasses on. Or my eyes. I rub my eyes, taking a moment to collect myself, then check my phone. 10:06. Damn, I slept a long time. There's a nice big splotch on the front of my shirt from where I must have spilled my ice cream last night. I cringed and dragged myself to the bathroom to clean myself up. As I'm showering, I remember Orlam. He hasn't contacted me since yesterday. Not that he needed to, but still. The thought sends anxious tugs of worry up and down my inside my belly. I should check on him. So once I'm done and back in the kitchen to start comforting percolations of coffee, I pull up the phone and give him a ring. It cuts the voicemail out to the fit dial tone. I know at the inside of my cheek. The bubbles of warrior starting to turn into a froth. I tried twice more, once after another 30 minutes, then again after forcing myself to wait a few minutes shy of an hour. Fuck. Didn't he say he misplaced his phone yesterday? He probably just hasn't found it yet. After a whole day, surely by now he's found it. But maybe he's still sleeping. But it's afternoon already. I scratched the back of my neck so hard I wince. Something's something's wrong. Before I even fully comprehend what I'm doing, I'm grabbing my shoes and keys and head for the door. I just know I won't be able to think clearly until I make sure he's okay. Orlam? My knock sounds uncontrollably loud in the empty hallway. Orlam, it's Iggy again, but there's no response. Even after 4 or 5 knocks, it remains shut. When I push past discomfort, looking like some kind of stalker to press my ear to the door, I hear nothing. No sounds of shuffling, no coughing, no padded footsteps. Fuck. I let my forehead rest against the wood paneling. In my mind, I see him splayed out across the bathroom floor like a puddle of blood. Ridiculous. Orlam would never. And I'll get more frantic this time. Orlam, please, we can hear me. Make a noise or something. Mary goes back to the door, straining, but there's still nothing. Not a single peep. So I do the only thing I could think of to do. I saw up on my social anxiety. I marched down to the main office of the apartment building. It's a small office. Not much more than a desk and some shelves and a few cupboards. The shelves are packed full of packages, no doubt waiting to be picked up in the by the apartment residents. Oh, wait. There's a woman inside reading a magazine on the desk. That's a woman? That's not one the judge looks. Honestly, she looks pretty cool. I really like the design. Kind of reminds me of my avatar a little bit. She looks like she's in her 20s, though perhaps her rough 20s. Her eyes look tired, her posture reeks of complete surrender to apathy. She barely looks up to my entrance. I tried to set my figure together, but all of a sudden losing the initial gumption I had to trek over. Her gaze wanders back up. She blinks. Can I help you? Yes, it's just that my friend lives here. He's not answering his door, and I'm a bit worried about him. She stares at me for a moment, then returns to her magazine. Sucks to be you, then. First one else to get her brows flattening. You understand. I really need to get in there. Yeah, I need a sugar daddy to get me out of this place, but that won't be happening anytime soon, hun. Something snaps inside of me. I bring my hands down to the desk a little harder than I meant to. He might have he might have offed himself. That makes her stop. She lets out a magazine and gives me an incredulous once-over. And sighs. Oh god, this is not what I needed today. What's the apartment number? 418. She pulls out a manila folder from one of the desk drawers. Then he gets rippling through it, slides out a form, studies it for a moment. Then, oh my god, that creepy little fucker? A laugh. I assumed he didn't even have any friends. I bring my hand up to scratch my arm awkwardly. He's so gross. Gives me the heebie-jeebies every time he comes to pick up a package. I scratch harder to the point where I can feel skin cells building up beneath my fingernails. Would probably do the world a favor if he offed himself. You know, I'd really appreciate it if you can the commentary. I finally spit out. She just rolls her eyes, then swirls back around to the locked file cabinet behind the desk. I bite down on my tongue to keep from saying anything more as I watch her comb through the maintenance keys. She must find the right step because she stands up and grabs her phone, stuffing it back into her pocket, and she leads me back in the hallway. Whatever, let's go get this over with. Once back at Orlam's door, a nervousness renews its dance across my neck. What's taking her so long? Now she's going from key to key, taking what feels like hours to expect each one. I shift my weight to the right, to the left, wipe the cold sweat dabbling my skin, forehead, and throat. Oh, yeah, duh, she says with a laugh, then pushes one of the keys into the lock. It opens with a dull click. I bump the door open the rest of the way before she has a chance to pull the key back out. Orlam? With two large steps, I'm inside. The clutter is the same as yesterday, along with the smell. I run my fingers inside my damp palms and look around. Orlam, are you here? The main room is empty. I make a beeline for the bathroom, brace myself a moment before pushing the door open and switching the light on. There's nothing. He's not here. Just a towel on the floor that I cleaned him up with yesterday. I shovel back out, check the kitchen, but it's equally empty. Nothing and no one. My brows sink in confused worry. He's not here. Damn, here I was hoping I can at least go home with a story. The apartment woman is leaning up against the door frame, her gaze wandering the room, her lips curled, thinly veiled disgust. Maybe there's some kind of notes, or maybe he left something. I run a hand through my hair, attention turning towards the desk. Not my problem. Saves me the cleanup if he did somewhere else. But she says with a huff and pushes away from the frame. But if you want to keep looking, knock yourself out. Like I care what happens into this fucker's place. Um, I mean, you're the person who owns the apartments, right? The ones that the people rent from you. Surely you should care about your tenants even a little bit. I watch her walk away, jaw tight. How could she just? I feel my fingers curl towards my palm with a shuddered twitch. But ultimately, the feeling fades. My shoulders slump. I toe the door I toe the door shut and begin searching the room, the desk, the bed, the kitchen table. But there's nothing. No hint of anything that might tell me where he is. Everything looks exactly the same as yesterday. I tried calling him one last time, somehow hoping that maybe this time it'll work. That this time he'll answer and ask the hell I've called him so many times. But upon the first ring, a sudden ringtone breaks the sounds of the room. I follow the sound, kneel down, and pull his phone out from under the bed. I just stare at it for a moment before clicking it off. Screen jumps back to the main menu with its background a photo of a brown, droopy-eared rabbit. David B checked through his phone. Oh, I'm not sure what to do for this one, but I think I'm actually gonna leave this video here for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.